Fountain of Truth podcast number 2, featuring our very first guest, Dr. Max of New York City. How you doing today, Dr. Max?
What's up, my friend? I'm Dr. Max, a.k.a. Dr. Max NYC. You can follow me. I'm actually honored, really honored to be here. It's actually my first podcast I've ever done, and I've done some pretty cool stuff, man. This December is going to be 17 years that I've been in the game as a chiropractor. So,
wow.
Doctor of Chiropractic. My office is in Midtown. I'm on Madison Avenue.
Wow.
I was actually a guest sports broadcaster for a major boxing fight in Queens a couple months ago, and that was like a first for me, too. I just had my first viral.
Can I ask you something, though? How did you get started into being into health? Was it something when you were younger?
Yeah, I hurt myself actually working out. I was always very into fitness and lifting, and I was actually a hardcore vegan back in college, and I lifted pretty heavy. My fraternity brothers had some little big dudes. I was the little guy, but I used to lift way heavier than I do now, and I actually hurt my shoulder working out at 18, and I thought I was probably going to need surgery. My neck was a mess. My shoulder was all screwed up, and my friend was just go see my chiropractor. And I did, and it fixed me holistically, naturally. And I've seen so many stories over my 17 years of this that
Was it your first appointment that got you? Was it over time?
It was over time. It fixed me just in a while, but it really opened my eyes to a holistic. I always knew I wanted to do something in health. When I was in high school, I used to ride ambulance corps, and I just always knew that
you
was
always into helping people.
But I was a personal trainer for years. While I was in chiropractic school, I started out as a trainer, so I was always into fitness, and I really evolved over my 17 years of this game now into my practice is a multidisciplinary, one-stop shop. It's a boutique wellness center. We do massage therapy, physical therapy. I even work with a medical team. So very mainstream, blood work, food testing, vitamin testing.
You said you have a younger crowd comes in there.
Very
too.
young. I mean, people can't believe how young my audience is, man. I just turned 42, but my average patient is probably 25. Wow. Very fit.
That's a hard crowd to get into a chiropractor, because I'm telling you, when I was 25, I wouldn't, unless I had a back issue or something, I wouldn't even think about it. But as the world's changing today, people know that you have to be proactive with
the texting. They started calling it text neck, where everyone's looking down and texting. It's the
text neck. I never heard of that before.
That was initially what they were starting to call it, but now they call it a tech neck, which is the next term for it. But it's literally everyone is looking down. I commute from Long Island to the city every day. Mm-hmm. I mean, you should see the train. I mean, I'm doing it too, man. Everyone's on the phone. I don't think there's one person that's not on their phone right now. So the posture is just getting worse and worse and worse.
And digital dementia on top of that.
That's
you know what I mean?
And the workouts that are out now. I mean, this is a fit. New York, especially New York City, is very fitness minded, and everyone spends a lot of money on fitness and taking care of themselves. And this is the time of the $35-$40 class. Yes. People are paying a lot of money to work out. They're going on Class Pass. They belong to Equinox. They do all these expensive workouts. So people are trying to get their money's worth out of it. So there's a lot of overtraining. And gym injuries.
CrossFit's probably one of your favorite.
CrossFit probably keeps me in business.
Yeah,
CrossFit
I heard that.
And hot yoga, believe it or not.
Hot yoga too?
Keeps me in business, yeah.
Wow, hot yoga.
Yeah,
I've done Bikram.
A lot of injuries with that, man.
Really? I didn't know that. Bikram.
Yeah. Don't get me wrong, man. I mean, I let all my patients that do sports, man, they're always oh my God, don't tell me I can't do this anymore. This year, I think I had
so let me ask
8 patients run the New York City Marathon, and they're going to be with bad backs, and they're don't tell me I can't run anymore. I'm no, you can still run, but you're probably going to have to incorporate what I do into your whole thing. What I do is part of the whole thing. What you do is part of the whole thing. It's health and wellness is a proactive thing. That's what I like about you when I met you.
Let me ask you something. I notice things with athletes, especially major league athletes, minor league athletes, and they're always getting hurt. Whether you're watching the Jets or the Yankees, there's always injuries, prone people. And I'm do these people know about green drinks? Do they know about superfoods? Do they know about other trainers schooling these people on that? Because if their bodies are falling apart for nutrition deficiency, then their trainers are not really doing their job.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I lecture, I always lecture in the city. I do lectures for companies and corporate America. We do lunch and learn stuff all the time. And my main topic that I like to talk about is stress management. And when people hear the word stress management, they just think about, being a stressed out, neurotic, mess, because New York City is intense and it eats people alive. People don't realize it's not just emotional stress. There's 3 stresses on the body. There's physical stress. Okay, so like bad posture, injuries, sitting for 10 hours a day. That's why most companies now offer stand-up desks, which I prescribe to.
And even these walking desks too, I've seen it too recently.
You know, so there's, you know, the repetitive stress stuff. It's wear and tear. It's age. It's like, you know, texting. All that's like physical stress. Then there's the emotional stress, which is the
perception of life.
Yeah, like how you perceive things, like how you want it to go. Like some of the stuff you talk about, you know, very similar to how I talk with my patients. Like, you know, you wake up in the morning and you're like, today's gonna suck. Like, guess what? Your day's gonna suck. Like, there's just no way around it. Like, you're gonna have a bad day. Like, it's what you tell yourself is really what you create. So is that like
you're speaking my language right now, just so you know.
Like, I get it, man. Like that's you create what you want out of that. But the third thing that people don't realize is the chemical stress component. And chemical stress is how you eat and what you put in your body. And a lot of people don't realize that there's things in life you can control and there's things in life you can't control. So there's things like the things you can't control, you have to learn how to like almost accept it or change it. Like that's why I always recommend the book A New Earth by Eckhart Tolle. I love that book. You know, he wrote The Power of Now about being in the present, but his book A New Earth is like life changing. Like I've recommended that book to more of my patients.
What is it
over
about?
The years. It's about acceptance and change.
Oh, okay.
You know, like
Gotcha.
I commute like 4 hours a day, like a freaking animal. And like I'm sitting on the train and like sometimes it just eats me alive. And especially during the winter time, like during the summer, I got the pool, we got the beach. Like I'm like, okay, it made sense why I moved out here. But during the winter, it's a long winter, man. And it starts to eat me alive. And I'm sitting on the train and I start to get angry. And I start to get angry about, oh my God, I'm spending 4 hours a day commuting. Versus if you look at it like, this is what it is. Yeah. I can't change it. Yeah. I work in the city. I live on Long Island. You know, what am I going to do?
Are you good with empathy? Are you empathetic?
Yeah.
So you got to just think about everybody who's struggling, fighting for their life right now to make sure problems really dissolve.
But like your podcast, your original pod, the first one you did, where you tell your story about how you survived, like, you know, being electrocuted.
Mental Olympics.
That story is unbelievable, bro. I mean, the way you tell the story, I felt like I was in it, man. But
it was my greatest gift, dressed up as my worst nightmare.
Yeah.
And over time, the gift gets prettier and prettier because I've been able to, like I said, my gauge of happiness and reverence for life has been slid over to the left all the way. And like I said, I wake up every day. Like you said, I wake up, I'm going to have a shit day. I don't even know how to say that.
Yeah.
I don't even know how to.
Because you're alive.
Yes, but I've been through those dark times where you're saying, oh my God, man, my problems are minuscule right now compared to what other people are going through right now. You know, I actually have a friend of mine, you know, and like I said, to put things into perspective, he's got a 4-year-old daughter who's got to go get a liver transplant because she has leukemia. And they've been drugging the crap out of her for a long time, and now the liver is succumbed. Thank God he has 4 older daughters, and one of them is going to be able to be a donor and help this thing out. But then when you look at that, you really step into that person's problems. Yeah. Every problem that you have it dissolves into nothing because it's like I have no problems with it. That is a major real life problem. You know, young kid, you know, and watch them to be you know what they go through is just terrible.
I mean, I hear the most amazing things from people. Like my patients tell me the most crazy. I mean, I'm like almost a psychiatrist or a psychologist. Like people open up to me and trust me, like to tell me stuff. But like I hear some things that I just can't even believe what people are going through in life. So I mean,
you never know what people are going through.
Life is not easy, man, especially New York. New York's a freaking grind. Like, it takes a toll on you. Like, I love New York City. I lived in the city for 8 years. I live out on Long Island now. But, like, New York City is definitely part of, like, who I am. And I feel like it's definitely not for everybody. But getting back to the point before we get off the topic is that we were talking about the 3 stresses. I mean, I could talk to you all day long, bro.
You guys got to bring it back center. Go ahead.
The chemical stress is what people are really missing, and that's where you're falling into the diets, and everyone's on this diet and that diet and keto and Whole30 and paleo and like Weight Watchers, and everyone's always asking me, Max, like, you know, how are you so fit? Like, what are you doing? Like, how do you eat? You know, like, you know, and the point is that all these diets really are kind of like almost like a paleo in a sense. They're all just repackaged. Okay, they're just like,
I agree.
They're just a repackaged thing of just, and the key is whole foods. That's it.
Can I also
you don't have to
for
be a
second?
genius.
Another thing I noticed
those
those diets that they have in common is reducing the refined sugars and starches. Yeah. That's a diet and a lifestyle on itself. Just being able to just take that out, that's like taking the poison out. Yeah. You know, that's
like
the benefit.
Once you understand, like people are like, what are you eating? I'm like, I eat whole foods. Like once things are processed, packaged, like refined, you know, like dairy. I mean, it's like, my medical team, we do food sensitivity testing in my office. It's very big right now. Everybody wants to know. We're not testing for allergies. We're actually testing for sensitivities, which is basically inflammation in the body. Like eating foods that cause your body to get inflamed. Yeah,
protect
bloated.
Itself.
Like I was tested for everything. I'm not positive to dairy, but I could tell you right now, there was a couple of months where I was, as an experiment, I did the new whole Weight Watchers freestyle just to see what it was, because I always like to know what everything is that my patients are talking about and stuff. So the new freestyle has 200 foods that are like 0 points. 200 foods now. And guess what the 200 foods are? Paleo.
Whole foods.
Yeah. That's what it is. They don't count as points. So fruits, vegetables, like chicken, fish, like that's it. But like once you start getting into things like dairy, like one slice of cheese is like 4 points. So like people don't realize, I mean, there was a time in my life where like I was starving at 10 o'clock at night before I go to bed, because, you know, I'm always hungry. When the more you work out, the more like you feel like you need to eat. It's almost like a curse. And, you know, I'd be eating like half a brick of cheese before I go to bed. It's like one of the worst things you can do for yourself. So I cut the dairy out, and I almost use the dairy now almost as like a treat. And I got so less bloated from it. So, like, it's amazing to see that the results coming back from these food tests that we're doing from people. Because most people actually are eating foods that they shouldn't be eating, that they don't even know about it. It's just, and you wouldn't know unless you had a blood test. Like, you could be eating eggs, which are one of the best things in the world for you. But if you're sensitive to them, it's actually screwing your whole body up. Yeah,
it's poison. It's poison. So let's just go back a little bit. You said the thing about the stress, the chemical stress.
Yeah.
Are you talking about like aldosterone and cortisol is released, or is it just the chemical stress from the chemicals that is in those foods?
From the foods. I'm talking about the water. Here's where Phountain comes in, man. Like there's just a huge, you know, supplement. You know, people always say to me, "Oh, I don't need to take supplements. I eat very healthy." I don't care how you.
According to who? This is what I say all the time. According to what and to who?
I eat healthier probably than like 95% of the world, and I still take a ton of stuff. Yeah, you have
to. We're in the world of super supplementation.
Before I even met you, I was taking a ton of stuff. But now, like just first this morning, I was like, you know what? I'm going to be on a podcast today with Taylor. I'm going to have 2 scoops of Green Factor in my smoothie. Not one, my friend. I did a double scoop of Green Factor. Superfoods, delish.
Super Factor?
Super Factor. Delish, by the way. Delish. I like to do the non-sweetened vanilla coconut milk, which I put in there. Today I switched it up and I did an oat milk, to be honest with you. And a banana. And here we go. Sunflower butter, bro.
Sunflower butter.
Delish, bro.
Wow.
So I mean, like,
so that's how you start off the morning. That's how you start off the morning. That's how you're supposed to front load all those nutrients when you're not hungry.
When I was introduced to your company a couple months ago, I mean, you guys opened up a new location around the corner from where I live. So,
can I ask you something? How did you ever first hear about Phountain?
I was actually friends with one of the girls who works at Phountain. Who I knew her from Soul Cycle when I was Nicole. So I was following her on her Instagram, and I saw she was posting some stuff, and I was like, that looks pretty freaking cool.
Was it the name that caught your attention?
The name was cool, and like I always was friends with her, and like she was posting some cool stuff, and I wanted to check out what it was about, and I've been meaning to stop by, and like, you know, I stopped in and I met Liz and I met Adrian and the whole staff and like Chris and Debbie, and like everyone's great, and like it just has like a very good vibe. You know what I'm saying? Like I live a very health and wellness lifestyle already. Like this was just the next step of what I needed, and I knew
there's no resource.
I knew immediately when I walked into that store that I just needed it to be part of my life. And I mean, you see my posts. I post on my Instagram, Dr. Max NYC, all the time. I get reposted by you guys. So if you've watched, you've seen Taylor. You know,
it's a lifestyle.
Yeah,
it's really simple. It's a proactive lifestyle, and obviously this is up your alley.
It literally is in line with what I do. So it's to be honest with you, just like a no-brainer. Like. And now it's almost like a joke when people are like, "Oh, you want some water?" Like I'll be at my friend's house. They'd be like, "You want a glass of water?" I'll be like, "Is it hydrogen water?" You know what I'm saying? Like, is it hydrogen water? Like I've always drank filtered water, obviously. I mean, I'm very well aware of the fact that the contamination levels of the water, especially on Long Island, is ridiculous, like tap water. So I've never drank the tap water before, and I've always drank like filtered water, but I never really knew about hydrogen water, molecular hydrogen water. So that was new to me. And when I learned about it, and especially taste it, I mean, the difference in the taste is unbelievable.
It's so light.
It's just the most refreshing and just the experience.
You know why it tastes so good?
Yeah.
Because it's closest to nature.
It's amazing. And the coral, right?
Hydrogen is number one on the periodic table.
You aerate it with coral, right?
Yeah, coral, infrared, elemental magnesium. Yeah. What else we got in there? Tourmaline.
Yeah. So
all these powerful, heavy horsepower minerals in there. It's naturally.
And I post about it all the time, so my patients are intrigued because I always, I've hit a point now with the Instagram where
they're probably dying to go to a fountain.
They are. They are. I mean, I've had patients like, is there one in the city? I'm like, not yet.
Soon enough.
I'm like, yeah. But like the point is like, people are like, what's the story with this water, man? Like, what is this water you're always posting about? Because, like, I'm at a point now where I'm almost at 2,000 followers. So I'm like, I would definitely consider myself to be, like, more followers than a normal human being. I mean, I'm not famous. I almost had a TV show last year, so I was almost famous. I was very close. I was being scouted by production companies and stuff about having my own reality show in my practice and my life. So they passed on it, but the point is I was almost famous. Not famous, but we're getting there. But people find me on, Instagram a lot. I'm all over the internet and stuff. But like my patients will say to me,
"Where's the water? What's
up with these new things that you're promoting? You're constantly promoting this like water. Like, what's the story with it?" And I'll be like, here's how I explain.
Do you tell them that
Here's how I explain. Here's how I explain. Like, because people are like, why would you drink hydrogen water? Like, what is the point of it? The point of it is that it makes your blood and your pH levels more alkaline. And then someone would be like, well, why would you want to do that? And I'll be like, because sickness and disease grows
can I interject
in
for a second?
acidic
It really doesn't make your
environments.
cells more alkaline. It makes the fluid on the outside of the cells.
Okay.
Do you follow what I'm saying? It's the environment that the cells. A lot of people get twisted.
Okay.
It's not really making any body part. Your body runs its own pH. It's the environment, the fluids that are outside of the cells.
Okay.
And what happens is your body controls it very strictly at 7.365. And if you go up or down, right? Check this out. If you go up a little bit, you hold more dissolved oxygen.
Yeah.
And if you go down the scale, you hold less dissolved oxygen, you can head into a health crisis.
Yeah.
So what happens is I had a naturopathic doctor come out to Fountain about 9 years ago, and he goes, this is the real easy equation to understand health, alkalinity, and how it relates to the body. He goes, it's 3 slides. You have one slide that is alkalinity, the foods that you eat that contain vitamins and minerals.
Yeah.
The next one is body voltage, right? And the next part is dissolved oxygen capacity.
Right.
So he goes, it's really easy. The more alkaline foods and waters that you put, more healthy foods that closest to nature, alkaline living foods, you put in your body, you increase your alkaline level capacity, your conductivity.
Yeah.
As your conductivity goes up with the vitamins and the minerals, right? Your body voltage goes up. And this is where this natural energy phenomenon comes in. They're like, Taylor, how come you always run around so much energy? And I don't, I'm not eating all the crappy foods out there. It's because my body voltage is up. And then what happens is one very special thing he told me that when your body voltage is increased, right? Even just a little bit, your dissolved oxygen capacity goes up at the same time.
Yeah.
And that's the precursor to all healing is that oxygen is the purifier. So it's real easy. Increase your alkaline levels with water, greens, superfoods, etc. Right? And then you're going to increase your body voltage, which is your natural energy. You're running around all day like the Energizer Bunny.
Yeah.
And then the greatest gift at the end is increasing that dissolved oxygen capacity. Do you follow what I'm saying? Does that make sense to you as a doctor?
Man. Yeah, you sound like a genius, my friend.
This is me. No, I'm just a reporter. I just take other people's great information
but you break
and
it down.
siphon it into you.
You break it down nice. But like I like the whole concept. I mean, it makes perfect sense of like the alkaline diet. Like people today,
well, can I just say something?
People want plant-based diet. That's what people are. The big buzzword.
Plant-based nutrition.
The big buzzword now is plant-based. It doesn't necessarily mean vegetarian or vegan, but plant-based
Yes.
means majority of
I'm
greens.
all over it.
Like when I talk about anti-inflammatory foods with patients, because like there's a big nutritional component to pain. You could be inflamed, like on the days where your body's hurting, or you're having your headaches, or you're feeling your arthritis, or you're feeling extra stiff, or your sciatica's acting up. Like that's not the day to be having the cupcakes and the cookies at the office. Like that's gonna flare it up. Even foods like tomatoes, nightshades, those are proven to be inflammatory foods. Dairy is an inflammatory food. So when you're not feeling good, that's not when you eat those inflammatory foods. So anti-inflammatory foods, dark green leafy vegetables.
Green factor.
Yeah, exactly.
Superfood,
ginger, you know.
Now, I never explained this to you before, but this is my philosophy has been over the years. All right. I think that all of our health revolves around our sleep.
Yeah.
When you go to sleep at night, your body regenerates and rejuvenates itself and even resets itself for the next day.
Right.
How do you know this? You wake up, you got to clear your eyes, clear your throat, go to the bathroom, yada, yada. We all know that. Those are all the residues of what your body has done during the night. Right. So what happens is we need to complement all that hard work by having plant-based nutrition, green factor, super factor, clean water, fruits and vegetables for the first couple of things that you want to put in your body every day to complement all the hard work your body has done for the last 8 hours of sleeping. And instead of destroying all that hard work, we want to run incongruent with it and run synergistically with plant-based nutrition. And guess what does? Your body, like I said, when your body is at night, it's in a healing mode, right? And we want to extend the healing mode by putting foods that run synergistically with greens and superfoods, right? And not foods that create chaos and inflammation. And the way we've been programmed to eat, wake up, have a cup of coffee, have a bagel, a muffin, 2 eggs, bacon, and ketchup. I don't know. They're just that what everybody eats. And I don't even want to talk about what they're buying at 7-Eleven, right? Now, what do you think that does? That puts your body, any of those foods put your body automatically, you said, into an inflammatory state. And some people do this for an effing lifetime and not even know it.
Every day.
Every day. I mean, a whole lifetime. I'm like, I step back 30,000 feet from above and I look up and I get picture my grandmother and my aunts and my uncles who eat bacon, eggs, and cheese and sausage every day. And then they have the L&M cigarettes and they have the black coffee with the sugar. And I just sit there and say, how the veil is so heavily over their head, they don't realize it. And they are actually killing themselves bite by bite, not knowing this. Do you follow what I'm saying? Because they don't know about plant-based nutrition. They don't know about inflammatory food. So this, all in all, it's really easy to understand. You sleep for 8 hours, wake up, flood your body with plant-based nutrition, with green factor, with super factor, with fresh, clean water, right? And what happens is after you do that, you're putting all these things that are healing. You found healing to the body without any inflammation because your body has cleared and reset itself. And then guess what? As the day moves along, you want to try to eat more healthy, but as the day moves along, you can live normally, but don't deny yourself any, but live sensibly. You know what I'm saying? So if you wanted to have a piece of pizza once in a while, if you're doing this every morning, your body has enough nutrients. Like I used to get heartburn in my early 30s. I take the greens and the supers. I don't get heartburn ever, never, ever. You know what I mean? Well, and I used to take Zantac all the time, and now they're saying Zantac is causing cancer.
The thing is, I always tell patients, like especially with foods, if you eat something and you get heartburn, or you get indigestion, or, you know...
food sensitivity, allergy, right there.
That's a sign right there that you're eating something that your body shouldn't be eating. If you feel bloated and, like, sick after you eat something...
sluggish.
It's a bad food for you. You know what I'm saying?
But some people are not, they're so used to it, they don't even know that it makes them feel that way.
And if you do that every day, you are destroying
every day.
Your
That's
body.
why they're building nursing homes everywhere, my friend.
And this was the point that I was trying to make earlier on, but we're all over the place. But it's cool.
That's fine.
It's cool, man. The point is that there's things in life you can control, and there's things in life you can't control. And that's why we were talking about the emotional stress part of it with acceptance and stuff like that. But guess what you can control? You can control if you're going to the gym or not. You can decide if you're going to be lazy or you're going to go to the gym. I commute 4 hours a day, yet I still go to the gym 4 to 6 times a week. Like, it's just part of my life. It's just something that I do.
Can I interject for 1 second?
Yeah,
1 second. Two things that I use, a quote I say all the time. Two things you control is your attitude and your effort every day. There's nothing else that anybody else.
That's it.
Those are the two things. Attitude and effort is two things that you can control. No one else, and it probably predisposes your whole life to everything that's going to happen to you. Like I think we talked about happiness before. If you own your happiness, you can't be touched because you know that comes from inside and not outside in a car, and an iPhone, and at a big, beautiful house. You own it. Most people don't know. It's kind of like a secret. You know, many customers come in the store, and I'm like, do you know you own your happiness? And they look at me like I'm crazy. I'm like, yes, it's a choice you make. There is no way to happiness. Happiness is the way. Yeah. You know, follow what I'm saying? But most people don't know that it's been locked outside. It's outside of the exterior. Right? Yeah. It's really inside.
I like that, man. I could talk to you all day, man. The thing that I was going to say, though, is that you do have control of what you eat.
Yeah, they could try to poison us, but we don't have to eat it.
What you eat, you control what you drink, you control what you put in your body, you control if you're going to get up to the gym and get up early and go to the gym, or you're going to sleep late. These are you have this choice of how you want to take care of your body. So, I mean, that's something in life that you do have control over. So there's a lot of things you don't, but that is one thing that you do have control over. And part of my career as a chiropractor is I really, I look at myself as a mentor and a role model because I live the life that I preach. This is what I do.
Live it, walk it.
And when I tell patients, this is how I live, they want to do it. They're like, how do I do that? They want
to skip the nursing home. They don't even realize it. I was just driving down Route 347 in Port Jeff. They just opened this huge cancer and blood center next to a nursing home. Yeah. And I'm just sitting there. Unfortunately, my mom is in a nursing home, and I so much not want that for any of my customers, for my friends. Yeah. If you can prevent it with nutrients and plant-based nutrients, with greens and supers every morning, we call it the life preserver at Phountain. You wake up in the morning, you flood your body with the greens and the supers, and guess what? You can go live your life because you're setting yourself up to win. You're not sitting there. If you have a cup of coffee with a donut and butter, you're setting yourself up to lose every day. It's real simple.
The thing that is so interesting that I liked about your company, and when I heard the education part of it when I came in, which is what basically I was like, done, sign me up, I'm in.
You're a member, right?
Yeah, of course I'm a member, man. I go every week. It was freaking pouring last week. Last Sunday, it was torrentially. It was a Saturday or Sunday. It's torrentially,
it was a horrible day.
Torrentially pouring, and I'm like, should I skip? Should I skip the water? Should I drink regular water all week? And I'm like, nah, I'm going to get the water. So I was there in the pouring rain
to get the good stuff.
Water. But just so you know, I do the sauna. I love the infrared sauna, dude. The infrared sauna is my new thing.
I would hot say medicine.
I love the infrared sauna. There's been so many times where I've gone in there and just felt achy and stiff and just out of it, or maybe a little bloated because on the weekends I kind of treat myself. I eat very healthy 90% of the time. But that's
the 90-10 rule. Yeah. That's better than 80-20.
But on the weekends, I'll eat whatever, Recently, I became pescatarian now. I stopped eating meat again. So I'm almost trying to really go real plant-based right now and super healthy. And I probably would say
Did you see What the Health? Is that why?
I've seen that movie. It's a little biased.
I saw it. I know it's very biased, but it's really eye-opening for someone who doesn't know. Someone who's eating all this stuff every day is
I was a hardcore vegan for 4 years. I'm not anymore, but I still eat very healthy. I like to eat vegetarian whenever it's an option, or vegan and stuff. But on the weekends, I'll treat myself. I'll have the cheese. Tonight, I think I'm gonna have eggplant parm. So
sounds good, right?
But I make it in my air fryer though, because that's my new thing,
that's
bro.
The secret
air
fryer,
bro. But so I like the sauna. The point is I like to talk about the sauna now. And people are always like, "What's the story with the sauna? What is it, man?" I'm like, "What's the difference between an infrared sauna and a regular sauna?" And I'm like, a regular sauna is a big steam bath. First of all, I feel like I can't even freaking breathe in a regular sauna.
You only last 10 minutes.
Yeah, I go 30 minutes in the infrared sauna. This is my new weekly ritual. First, I go to the gym for 2 hours, by the way. Gym 2 hours, bring my jugs, I fill up my water. Then I do my 30-minute sauna, crank it up to 135 to get the therapeutic value, and I'm freaking cooking in there, man. I got my freaking rap cranking. I got it on the Bluetooth. Sometimes I do rap or reggae, I switch it up, and it's just 30 minutes for me. It's intense, though, dude. I'm not going to lie, man. 20 minutes into it, I start to think I'm not going to be able to make it. I have to start doing almost meditative breathing to make those last 10 minutes. But, I come out of there so clean. I feel like
you flushed out all the crap. Listen to this. you have 5 million
Yeah.
sweat pores over your entire body.
Yeah.
37,500 pores per square inch.
Yeah.
And each one of them is a toilet bowl. And when you get into that sauna,
Yeah.
it's a skin and face detox where all those pores dilate.
Yeah,
and they
it's
start to
amazing.
unload the crap even from your blood. You know what I'm saying? This is
amazing.
why it's so therapeutic. Matter of fact, we call it hot medicine at
Yeah.
Fountain. You know what I'm saying? It's not a pill you have to take. You go inside a hot chamber, 30 minutes,
Yeah.
and you get to flush all the crap
Yeah.
and all the buildup, a lifetime buildup of crap that you've been breathing in just from oil particulates and sitting in traffic.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Or
I only really promote like to my patients and my friends and my family like stuff that I believe in, like stuff that I personally do myself. Like
stuff that you know that works.
Yeah, like
that's how I do it.
I research stuff. I've been approached by so many people and patients over the years to sell stuff and be in like multi-level marketing things and like pyramid things, and I'm not getting involved with any of that stuff because the point is like I feel like that damages my credibility. You know what I'm saying? So it's like if I'm gonna do something, I need to make sure I know what I'm talking about. You know, I've researched your you know, the products you have. I've researched the infrared sauna and like that taps into your lymphatic system. That's it. Like it's a different kind of sweat than when you go to the gym. When you go to the gym, you tap into your endorphins and that's the sweat. But like the lymphatic system is literally flushed from being in infrared sauna. And I swear, and I'm not a good sleeper, man. I'm not. I've never been a good sleeper. I've been sleeping better since I've been doing the sauna. That makes me so chill at night. I think there's a direct correlation between that sauna and my sleeping.
Well, what happens? Can I tell you, cellular-wise, when you get into the infrared sauna, your cells go from energy production.
Yeah.
What happens is it's called hormesis. Your body is going through this heat stress.
Yeah.
So instead of producing energy, it starts to repair itself. So
It's awesome.
It goes into repair mode, which also causes you to relax.
Yeah.
Because you're not making energy anymore. It's fighting off this 135 degrees by creating heat shock proteins and XO3 expressing those genes, which are the longevity genes, releasing heavy metals, chemicals, oil-soluble toxins that have been building up. If you use deodorant, toothpaste, creams, lotions, cologne, you name it, all these oil-based toxins are actually built up in our body, and the only reliable way they've proven to get these oil-soluble toxins, the cellulite out of you, is with the infrared sauna. That's why it's so incredible, and that's why it's called hot medicine. And there's 22 other benefits of doing infrared sauna. That was just one that just came off the top of my mind.
The other day, I was feeling so worn out, like just from you know, the change of season.
You commute 4 hours every day. God bless you.
Sometimes I barely ever get sick because I take amazing care of myself and my immune system is pretty strong. And I'm around people all day long that are, you know, people are sick. So like, I take good care of myself, but I was run down the other day and I was on the borderline of being like sick. And I'm like, you could feel it.
You feel susceptible.
You feel like it's coming. You feel your throat.
What happens? Your body has to adjust.
I did the infrared sauna. Good. I think the infrared sauna is right.
And you do the body vibe after that too?
I haven't done that yet, but I'm definitely.
Well, you talked about the lymphatic system. The whole thing is to go into the infrared sauna for 30 minutes, get everything nice and loose, right? Yeah. And then when you stand on the whole body vibration pad, you are actually advancing your lymphatic system.
I'm gonna do that next week.
And a clogged lymphatic system equals this lovely disease called lymphoma.
Yeah.
All right. So every time you go into the sauna and you do the whole body vibration, you are unclogging, and you are instead of taking a step towards lymphoma, you're taking a step away.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But we're not taught to think like that. We are in reactive world. We are waiting to get sick, waiting for lumps, waiting for all these bad things, and actually paint yourself into a corner that you might not be able to get yourself out of. Why not just keep yourself with prevention and being proactive with nutrient screens, detox, and all the good things? And this is what Fountain is about. This is what you're about.
I can't believe
the revolution is about.
When you just said that, it's so funny because we're on such the same wavelength right here, man. That I was literally about to say, like, I love Fountain because it's just it almost is like a very similar philosophy to how I work as a chiropractor.
Closest to nature is what you like.
I work with the nervous system, which controls every function of your body, for your heart to work, your lungs to work, your immune system to work, your kidneys to work. Everything. Healing.
That's what the definition of health is, when all systems are running optimally.
It's natural and holistic what I do. Like if you cut your arm, you wake up tomorrow and there's a scab on your arm. Like the Band-Aid didn't do it. Like your body has a holistic ability to heal, and the nervous system controls it. And when I check the spine for alignment, and your spine can shift out of position and affect that nervous system, you can get pressure on discs, nerves, and it'll affect your overall health due to physical stress, like we talked about, posture. You know what? Cracking your neck. Oh my God. If anyone listening to this podcast is listening to me right now and gets one thing out of this thing, people that are walking around cracking their neck and their back all the time, which I see all the time, is literally one of the worst things you can do for yourself. And that's the patient that comes in that says, I woke up this morning and I couldn't move. I see it all the time.
Oh my God.
Popping your back.
Why is it so detrimental?
It literally makes your spine unstable. And this is one of the reasons my patients are getting younger every day. Sleeping on your stomach, terrible habit, wears your back out. Carrying a heavy bag on one shoulder, bad habits. So, I mean, those are all like physical stress. Sleeping with like more than one pillow where you're like jamming your head forward, head down all day long, texting, all physical stress. Emotional stress, bad attitude, fried. People are just like, focusing on.
This is called the American zombie. This is the American zombie, the new age American zombie that I talk about all the time.
Yeah.
Is on prescription pills, is stressed out, is worried about what the TV says every day, and that dictates their life.
You should see him. Like, in Penn Station in the morning is literally like the zombie apocalypse. Everyone's just packed in there, like, and it's just like, but like, this is why I think me and you get along so well, because like this is proactive. What I teach my patients, and when patients come to see me, it's proactive. It's not reactive. Reactive is like damage control, which don't get me wrong. I get
pain management.
I get the patient that comes in all the time that says I can't freaking walk and they're a train wreck, and like, I know how to fix that, but that's a big deal and that's a big process. But proactive healthcare. You don't have to wait to have lung cancer to quit smoking cigarettes. You don't have to wait till you have your first heart attack and then say, "Oh my God, I got to start working out. I got to lose weight."
Interject again. Even there's lots of people out there who are listening that smoke cigarettes, they smoke other things, and they just think that they can smoke, and they don't do anything proactively with their health because they just say, "I'm going to accept my fate."
Yeah.
But there's the good news. There's a book that I called Dr. Live to Eat, or what was the one that Alan? Yeah. Well, I'm trying to remember what it was about. It was talking about you could reduce the risk of having, if you smoke cigarettes, if you drink soda, at least if you have plant-based nutrition, you reduce the risks of all the things versus if you didn't do it. Do you follow what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So, what is it called? Don't die. Live to eat. No, I can't remember. I'm so disappointed. I have it in there. It's Alan's book.
Post it in the comment. Take
a pause for a second. Yeah, what I know about coconut oil is that it helps regenerate your brain, helps you accept ketones.
Yeah.
After your liver processes it as a backup to accepting glucose.
Yeah.
To kind of prevent yourself from getting Alzheimer's or neuro diseases. So every morning when I make my super fat, I put maybe about a teaspoon of MCT oil, medium chained MCT oil in there, and then I put about the same amount, a teaspoon or two of raw virgin coconut. I put it in my super fat smoothie with like 2 heavy pinches of Himalayan salt, a little PB2, earth factor in there. I got to get my diatomaceous earth in there, and I make my super fat smoothie with it. But the whole thing about the coconut oil is to preserve your brain and your memory and your function now before it, because most people don't know that you'll have Alzheimer's 10 years before you get the first symptom.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's alarming to me. So I'm like, I don't have anything. This is about 5 years ago when I learned about it. I don't have any neuro problems now, but guess what? I'm going to start putting the MCT and the raw virgin coconut oil in my smoothie every day so I don't get it. And I'm...
what's good for... especially for your, for Phountain and for, what you've created, the world wants to know about this stuff right now. Like, this is a very big time for nutrition. That's why all these diet books are
Organic
so big.
Is huge today.
Everybody doesn't know what to eat. No one knows what to eat.
Yeah,
no one knows
the hell
what
out
to
of
eat.
us.
You watch all these documentaries on Netflix. I mean, some of them are great. I like to watch them all. You know, I definitely get something out of each of them, but they're all very, you know, some pretty biased and stuff. So I take what I take from them and stuff. You know, like all these diets. Don't get me wrong. I have like a ton of patients that do keto and stuff, and they love it, and they lose all this weight. And one of my friends is like hardcore into it right now, and like deep frying everything and everything. But like, I'm not cutting fruits out. I eat more fruit now than I've ever eaten in my life, and I'm probably in the best shape of my life right now. So it's about a lifestyle. It's about living
awareness.
a
It's
lifestyle.
awareness. Your awareness is higher than most. That's why you're able to do this.
Yeah.
And what you just said before, everybody is so confused.
Yeah.
Because when
no one knows what to do.
Think about this. 1 minute they tell you to have coffee.
Yeah.
Then they tell you don't have coffee. Then they tell you to have wine, and then you tell you not to have wine.
Yeah.
Then you have bread, and then don't have bread. So what do you do to a human being when you do that? You confuse them. And when you confuse somebody, what do? Absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
So the whole thing is to raise your awareness of the benefits of the plant-based nutrition, how greens affect the body, how they help. Most people don't know that. Green factor, the greens, anything with dark leafy green or chlorophyll helps you regenerate new blood cells. Now, if you could make 1 million blood cells a day or 1 billion, right?
Yeah.
What would you opt for? Obviously, you would want to have the 1 billion. Well, guess what? If you know that chlorophyll, dark leafy plant-based greens, green factor, right?
Yeah.
Gives your body the right elements to make new blood cells. And guess what happens? When you allow your body to make new blood cells, this is my favorite part, you get to carry more oxygen.
Yeah.
More cells, more oxygen, more health.
Makes
right?
sense.
And now how many people you know don't even know what a green drink is?
Yeah.
Most people don't even know what a green drink, they think it's green tea. Oh, I had green tea before. I'm like, no. Plants. You have to have powdered plants, and they carry the electrons. That's what makes them alkaline.
Yeah.
That's what charges the cells up. That's what puts your body into this healing mode. And this is what most people don't know, is that they don't have an appreciation for how powerful green factor, or any green drink could be, just for the regeneration factor.
Well, just so you know, I've tried other green drinks before, and I haven't liked any of them. They've all made me slightly
thank you so
nauseous.
much.
To be honest with you, they've made me sick. Like they don't sit well with me.
They're tough.
Like even like
They're powerful. That's
even
why
like
too.
Don't get me wrong. Like wheatgrass is probably one of the best things you can do, and like doing a fresh pressed shot of wheatgrass is probably one of the most healthy blood purifiers you can do. And there was a long point where I was doing that for a while, especially at these juice places in the city.
Do you know why it purifies the blood?
How?
Oxygen.
Yeah.
It's loaded with oxygen.
But the problem was it gave me almost like a heartburn.
It's tough.
So I
it's
switched.
Dense.
It's not my favorite taste. It literally tastes like you're drinking grass. I mean, it's good for you, but like then I switched to blue-green algae shots, which I still do.
Popular,
so there's a couple of juice places by me that do that. So I like
Lucky
that.
there's none that do
But
that
I
here.
got your greens, and I'm telling you, man, they're delish. And I mean, I'm into it. So it's like
I made it. Well, can I just tell you something? The reason why I formulated the green factor way before there
hey,
was
you
a
told me this
fountain.
because like nothing tasted good.
I was taking Ballines greens. I was taking Greens Vibrants. I took Greens Plus. And like you said, I would regurgitate them. They all tasted god-awful.
Sick.
And what happens is in the end of 2008, this is what it was my inspiration to not fountain, but to start to get involved into this life, was to formulate my own green drink. And that's where green factor came into play, because when I formulated, I had two goals in mind. One is to make the most alkaline green drink. Nobody was saying this in 2007, 2008. And to make it good, best tasting. That was the hard thing. That was the hardest thing to do. I went back and forth with a manufacturer for about 1.5 years to perfect it. First, I had broccoli juice in there. Then I had what's that? The oil, the fish oil. Omega-3s.
Oh, yeah.
It made it smell funny. It made my stomach hurt. It wasn't easy to formulate it. And then after about 1.5 years, we formulated. And like I said, the reason why it was formulated was, one, to taste good, was to be the most alkaline. And voila, green factor was born. And that's what happens is, before when I formulated green factor, fountain was not on the radar. I was just going to be an online business like everybody else in 08 and 09, and just do my home. I had a real estate company that was doing very well, so I was just going to stay with that. And then after a while of me taking the greens, and I got into what's called live blood microscopy, and I saw the true effect of how the greens really affect the blood. I went from believing how great greens could be to knowing, and that's why I'm so passionate about teaching people the most powerful, healthiest thing that you can ever put in your body. And I don't care if it's green fat, it could be another, is a green drink. They'll allow your body to regenerate new blood cells, carry more oxygen, cleanse the blood. It does all these miracle things that you can't get from a donut, that you can't get from a ham sandwich, and you definitely can't get from a steak. You know, right?
But like it's true. Like people really want to hear this stuff. Like
that's why we're here, my friend.
I did There's a chain in the city called Dig In. It's it's like a lunch place. They do all like organic and farm to table.
Whole Foods.
It's great. Yeah, the line's out the door. They're killing it. There's probably, I don't even know how many there are. The original one's right across the street from my office, but like there's probably like 10 now. I think they're branching into other. Yeah, they're doing very well. It's all
over the city.
Yeah, Dig In it's called. So I go there all the time to eat because it's literally right across the street from my office. I get the tofu, I get the broccoli. It's very basic. Like this is why they're killing it, because it's just whole foods. They have but you can get your sides: sweet potato, roasted broccoli,
beets,
apples. I mean, the beets. Yeah, they have rainbow.
Have you ever ate a Core Life yet?
No.
You never heard of it?
No.
Oh, you're going to be so happy we're having this conversation right now. They are exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah.
There's one in Farmingdale and one in Garden City.
They do the same thing. It's
and
like Whole Foods. It's just like Whole Foods.
It's like Chipotle, but they have all the Whole Foods out there.
Yeah, that's what this is.
And they have green bowls, salad bowls.
This is what they do.
You know, they put a broth on the bone broth on top. It's amazing. Core Life.
The point of the story is this is right when I started a YouTube channel, probably like 2 years ago. It's under City Chiropractic and Wellness, which is the name of my office. So if you want,
I like Dr. Max NYC.
Right. Well, if you go on YouTube and search Dr. Max NYC, all my YouTubes come up, and my Instagram is Dr. Max NYC too. So
it's give you the plug there, so everybody knows who you are.
Thank you. It's Dr. Max NYC. You could just Google me. I mean, I come up. Like I probably get at least 3 to 5 new patients a week now that find me online. Wow. I have patients that literally come in now that say they follow me on Instagram. It's wild. This is the world we live in now, that I'll have patients come in. They'll be like, I've been following you for a couple months. I'm like, oh, okay, that's cool. Like that's how they come in.
It's a different world.
The point is, this was around the time I just started my YouTube channel, and since then I've probably made about 30 videos now.
Oh, wow.
One of them just went viral recently, which I was very happy about. That was actually, I had a viral video on Instagram. I had 8,000 something views on one of my adjustment videos. I just started filming
I saw that video. I
started filming adjustments now, and people love watching that. Like it's almost like
real.
It's almost like the Dr. Pimple Popper phenomenon, where people are obsessed with watching it. Like I've been doing this for 17 years in December now, and I've never, ever considered filming an adjustment before. I don't know why. I thought it maybe would look too scary for people. Some people are like, ooh, that looks intense, but most people are so intrigued by it, and they come in and they're like, oh, I saw that video or that adjustment you did, and I want that. I want that. So the point is,
the power of the videos.
I started the YouTube channel, which started out as just a way of doing like exercise stuff. I have a video I filmed at Blink Fitness where I teach you exercises to like improve your posture. So
I think I saw that one.
That one's good. And then but the Dig In one's good because I'm in Dig In, which is a little lunch place, and I wanted to just do a video about clean eating. And here I am, I'm just breaking it down, and I'm talking about, just eating whole foods. And before we started, this lady's sitting right next to me because, New York City is a kind of tight.
Yeah,
you got
square inches.
She's right next to me, and I'm like, excuse me, I just want to let you know I'm going to be filming a YouTube video. And she's like, now? I'm like, yeah, right now. She's like, am I going to be in it? I'm like, if you want to be in it, yeah. She's like, and then she's like, no, but can I film you? And I'm like, that's fine. So I'm with my physical therapist. My staff films all my Instagram and stuff. It's all unedited, which I think
real.
People like the fact that my videos look raw. Like there's no editing. I've never edited.
No filters either.
I've never edited anything. Like it is what it is, right? So I usually have either my office manager or my assistant or my physical therapist film my videos for me. Like I'd love to have a professional film crew follow me around one day, and that would probably be my dream. If I had to have a reality show and be on TV, like I just want to be like the next Dr. Oz. But for now, we're filming my videos raw and unedited, bro. So I'm sitting there and we're filming this video, and my physical therapist is filming me, and I'm talking about all the different, healthy foods and clean eating, and this lady next to me is filming me like this, so she's sitting on top of me filming me, and that's fine, I don't care. And like all of a sudden, like this person walks in and they start standing there, and then this person walks in and they start standing there, and all of a sudden all the people in the entire store are watching me, and I had an audience of like 50 people watching me just talking about healthy eating because people want to hear it, bro.
Yes.
No one knows what to eat, bro. So I'm standing there and I'm doing this video, and then all of a sudden this person comes in and she's like, what's going on in here? And the lady next to me like loses it, and she's like, he's filming a YouTube video, and it like totally literally like threw me. Like, I mean, I'm amazing at speaking on the fly. I have no idea what's going to come out of my mouth, and it always comes out pretty smooth. Even when I do like lectures for big companies in the cities, like I don't bring a PowerPoint or anything. Like people are like,
do it off the hip.
People are like, you don't have a PowerPoint? I'm like, nah, I don't believe in PowerPoint. But like,
you need bullet points.
The point is, I just talk, bro. So this lady just threw me though. I don't know what happened, and I totally lost track of what I was saying in the middle of a sentence.
She stumbled
you. She literally, this lady thought I was famous. It was hilarious, but like,
you have that look though.
She thought I was like a big deal in there. So like, I actually have a bloopers video of that. So I have the real one, and then I have a bloopers video of when she throws me off, and I lose.
Did you sign autographs when you were done?
It's pretty funny.
They probably did though.
It's funny, man. I had a patient a couple months ago who came in from Brazil. It was wild. He said he booked a vacation with his wife like a year ago, and he booked an appointment with me because he thought I was famous. He saw me online. He saw my videos, and his part of his trip to New York was that he wanted to come see me, bro. That's like the online, man. It's social media. It's getting it out there.
It's in perpetuity. Yeah. Your kids, your daughter's going to be able to see these videos 20, 30 years from now and you really see what your dad or her dad was all about.
It's like the fact that you're doing this like now and like starting this podcast and stuff. Like I was saying,
you're going to be a regular guest, I think,
cool,
from now on. You know what I mean? We get to talk about pick out a topic, you know?
All the time, man, but like,
I think that we have a lot to teach each other. You know what I mean?
I've done it all, man. I've gotten up on stage at churches before and spoke about natural healing. I was actually the host of a fashion show at an assisted living home. I've literally done it all. Like that boxing match I told you about.
Yep.
One of my friends from college is a major sports announcer. He hooked me up. He's like, "You want to be a broadcaster for a boxing match?" And I'm like, okay. I mean, at one point I was a chiropractor for the Church Street boxing gym downtown. So I've worked with boxers before, but like, it's just repetitive stress, man. All I was talking about was sports injuries. I had an interview with two announcers at a boxing match. It was just unreal. It didn't even seem real, bro. And it got something like, I think because it's broadcasted live on Fight Night Live, it's called. It's like a streaming service for like boxing matches. Mm-hmm. And I think I got like 600,000 views or something like that. It was crazy, man. And like the power of just like social media,
it's taking over the world. World's a different world. You gotta be on all the platforms.
This podcast right now was like very big for me right now because I feel like this is the next thing, man. I need to get involved with podcasts. I think you told me about, we were going to talk about TikTok,
all of them. That's going to be your future audience.
The best way to get the information out there is just social media. People you post it, you get reposted, they're sharing it. But like, people want this information.
Well, attention is the currency of social media.
People want to know about health and wellness. And this is 2019. We're about to be into 2020, and people want this now.
With that being said,
yeah.
What would be your 3 biggest tips you would give to somebody who doesn't know anything? Someone who's just not Joe Schmo, but Joe Public, blue collar worker, mechanic guy, doesn't know much. He's starting to feel a little sluggish. His hands are starting to hurt. What's the 3 biggest points you would give to somebody just starting into a proactive lifestyle? What 3 things come to your mind first?
Well, I definitely would recommend finding out if they exercise or not. I mean, people need to exercise, man. This is like, then the people that say they don't have time to exercise, you can have time to exercise. It's like you find time for it. So it's like exercise, eating, clean eating. If you're feeling sluggish, if you're feeling exhausted, I mean, you probably need to detox. You probably,
if you have never tried it before,
eat like crap and you need to change your diet. I mean, I would recommend food sensitivity testing, which we do in my office, which I talked about.
Sounds good.
Anytime people come to see me that have some sort of interest in nutrition,
can't lose weight.
Losing weight.
Like you said, food sensitivity. They're eating bananas every day. They don't really realize that their bodies, they're eating bananas every day. They think it's healthy, and they don't realize it's straight poison.
Yeah.
And you do the food sensitivity, come back, and you're like, oh, you shouldn't eat mangoes, you shouldn't eat bananas. And all of a sudden, the person stops eating bananas, and then 6 weeks later, they drop 30 pounds.
Yeah,
I've seen it. Not, for other people.
Eating inflammatory foods can actually screw up your metabolism. So that is a huge thing to look into. And I also
and you may not know it. That's the thing about, you got to tell them about food sensitivity. You may not have a food sensitivity. It doesn't show up as an allergy.
Yeah.
It just shows that it's actually poison inside your body. You don't feel there's a war going on inside. And there is. And you keep on, like my daughter has a food sensitivity to strawberries. She shouldn't eat strawberries because when I did the test over in New Jersey, that's what they said. So she doesn't eat strawberries because it creates a war inside. Most people don't know. Just because you don't feel it doesn't mean it's not going on.
Just because, if you have like a severe allergy, like your throat can close up, you'll wind up in the hospital. But a sensitivity can literally just be screwing your body up, and you
don't feel it. You don't know. There's no symptom. So, you know what I mean? You don't feel like crap.
I would say start with a food elimination. I usually like to tell people to do food elimination. I've worked with a lot of nutritionists in my career.
Dairy.
Food elimination diet is this. Even though I came back negative to being negative to being lactose intolerant, I still do so much better without eating dairy. So I would say most people probably should listen to and try this. At the very least, you take a food group, preferably just one at a time, or else it gets too confusing. Dairy.
Easy.
Cut out dairy from your diet for 3 days completely. Have no milk, have no cheese, nothing. No cheating whatsoever. 3 days, clear it out. On the 4th day, have a yogurt. If you're in the bathroom, or you feel sick, or you feel bloated, or swollen, there's a very, very good chance you shouldn't be eating dairy
Most
anymore.
of us shouldn't be eating really dairy anyway.
But and then that's your first test.
Automatic inflammatory.
Yeah, but that's your first test. People love cheese though. It's not like I use it.
Yeah,
I'm not
my
gonna
cheese
lie.
too.
I like cheese, man. I'm not gonna lie. But I like pizza too. So I'm not gonna stop eating that. But it's a treat. This isn't. You can't eat that every day.
You're not pounding yourself out.
Yeah, and then the next thing I would say is to try to do almost like a wheat elimination. So where you cut out gluten, or you don't eat anything that's processed or packaged. You don't. So 3 days of no pasta, no rice,
no bread.
Nothing that comes in a box, basically just whole foods for 3 days. And then on the 4th day, have a bagel. See how you feel. Yep. If you feel bloated, indigestion.
Do your patients come back to you and be like, oh my God, I did it? And
I've had patients literally tell me that they felt so much better from cutting the dairy out that they're not going to have it anymore. So, I still have it as a treat. I believe in moderation, but 90% of the time, you got to eat clean. If you know you're going to have a terrible, you're going to go crazy for breakfast. You're going out for breakfast with, your wife or whatever, and you're going to a diner or whatever, and you're getting the pancakes and the whole thing. That's your junk meal for the day. Yeah. There's no eating crap for lunch and dinner. It's just one meal. Don't go I don't believe in
I have a sensitivity to wheat, like you just said. Yeah. If I had a bagel right now, or
you have celiac or no?
I don't know. I just know that I get heartburn later.
You do better.
I get heartburn later. I don't eat it. This is two things: a bagel or a peanut butter jelly sandwich. Yeah. Every once in a while, I like because I grew up on peanut butter jelly. I'll tell my wife to make one, and she's like, "It's gonna give you heartburn."
Just do something.
And I'll still do it anyway. Yeah. Because I still enjoy it. You know what I mean? I'm just saying you don't want to deny yourself, but I already know that my body does not like wheat to some degree. If I had Italian bread, it doesn't do it. It only does it with bagels and peanut butter jelly sandwich. I don't know why, but that's the truth.
So, to sum it up, I would say get into
exercise.
And the thing with exercise is this, which is so interesting. When people say to me, "Oh, well, I don't like lifting weights." I love lifting weights. I go to Blink Fitness. It's $15-20 a month. It's not an expensive gym. I don't need some $250 Equinox membership. I don't. Yeah. It'd be nice to work out in some fancy gym.
You don't want to go to David Barton's temple?
I don't need it, man. I just lift weights for 30 minutes, bro. I don't need some expensive gym. I only have time to do 30 minutes. All I do is work out for 30 minutes. I wish I had more time, but I got to get to work.
You yourself sweating. The whole thing is to get this purge everything going.
So if you don't like lifting weights, guess what? Do something else. There's so many things you can do in today's fitness world. There's boxing, there's spinning, there's
infrared
Pilates.
sauna and whole body vibration that we have in Phountain. That equates to it. You're getting everything to start moving around. Lymphatic system's moving around. You go on the body vibe. Yeah. So that's one thing that's great about it. Infrared sauna and the whole body vibe. It's great for older people who can't exercise, people who are immobile. Yeah. That it gets all the blood. The blood circulating, get the sweat going, without running up a mountain.
Yeah. And I'd say the third thing is just have a positive mindset about what you're doing. Look forward to things, have things you enjoy. you know, like I enjoy, not only does it help me feel better, but I enjoy going to Fountain now every week because it's become like a family to me. I'm like, you know, they give me hugs in there and kisses, and I walk in, they're like, oh, it's Dr. Max.
They do it at all the locations.
It's Dr. Max. I'm like, it's so cool, man. I come
we
in
hire
here,
people like that on
we're just
purpose.
chatting while I'm filling up the water. I'm talking to some dude while he's filling up his water, and
You
we
got
were
the
just
gua sha?
talking,
You said that you
man.
went there the other day.
I just went and got the gua sha.
Tell me how you
I
found
got
out
the
about
jade roller. You know what's cool? Like, I saw it in the store, but I never really like talked about it before. But like, you have like these screens up in the store that are like, you know, showing different like stuff on it. So like, I walked in, and while I was filling the water up, I saw them showing a video of like the jade roller, and it was some doctor on YouTube or something with the jade roller, and I'm like, I was watching it while I was filling up my water, and I'm like, you know what? I'll buy that.
He's
too.
talking about the gua sha scrapers that we have.
Yeah.
When you go into the infrared sauna after you start sweating, it's a scraper that actually moves blood and oxygen around and lymphatic fluid around, so you can irrigate better parts of your skin, bring new life to the parts that weren't getting so irrigated. It also makes you sweat more. That's the biggest thing.
Yeah.
It helps break up bags under your eyes and wrinkles before you get them. It's called scleroderma.
Yeah.
Is breaking. So what happens is the whole thing is to scrape your entire body from head to toe. I scrape my thyroid. I scrape my neck, and I even make my neck tight, and then I make it very flaccid and loose, and try to get in there and hit my carotid artery. I do in between my toes. I scrape everywhere. And what you're doing is just bringing you're irritating.
I watch your videos, man. I follow you on Instagram.
Listen,
bro.
I think it's a phenomenon for people to know that. You know what I mean? Because most, like you said, people want to know about these little secrets, how to live longer, how to be anti-aging, and how to live to 100.
People are fascinated by this stuff. They really are. Like, once I start talking about health and wellness, people are like, oh, you know, like if I start off a lecture and be like, how many people in this room do like 1,000 text messages a month, like opening line, people would be like, you know, how many people here do like 3,000 text messages, and people would be like, you know, like, this is the world we live in. Like, but like, I'm like, do you know what that's doing to your neck? And then once I start like that, they're like, what's it doing to my neck? Like, people want to know. People want this information, I think,
and they want solutions.
They want it.
They want solutions, and that's what you do in your side of the of the health and wellness field. That's what I do over here at Fountain. And it's a great merge is to teach people what they need to know to live to avoid the nursing home. The whole thing is there is lots of pain, torture, and embarrassment to going into a nursing home. How do I know? Unfortunately, my mom had a brain aneurysm about 15 years ago, and weekly I go there and I see all the faces of people in there, and I so much when I don't get depressed when I leave there. I leave there wanting to serve you and to serve Eric and to serve everybody that's in my circle of Fountain. So you never have to go there. It doesn't look like a place. My mom tells me all the time she wants to get out of there, and I don't blame her. I can't, because she's on so many medications. She has a very sensitive case. And she, like a child, she begged me to get out of here. And I'm like, I take that as an empathy signal, and I say, okay, I don't want Dr. Max to go to a nursing home and or his friends or family. Same thing with Eric St. John. I don't want his friends or family going into a nursing home, and I'll do anything in my power just to make that connection with people and say, hey, listen, you got to wake up. Hello. We got to snap out of the trance, the zombie. We had a customer the other day. We were at a fair in Iceland. She had just got done telling me that her daughter had died from cancer. Right, at like 32 years old. She's probably mid-50s. We're sitting there going back and forth, and she was very upset. She started crying and stuff like that, and I was consoling her. I'm like, I'm so sorry to hear that. I said, but here's the good thing you could do now. You could start taking a green drink. You start taking care. You could introduce this to your other kids. And she couldn't hear me. She could not hear me. She was... I don't know if it was what was on her mind, but I was doing my best, and I was trying to connect with her with all my power. I'm like, you need to take a green drink every morning. You have to take supers. Start investing into this. You know what I'm saying? And guess what? She kind of just walked away, and it was just like, and I was like, another zombie. See you later. It sucks.
Unfortunately, you can't get through to everybody.
No, I know. I understand that.
And sometimes, you know, I take it personally, and I after doing this for 17 years, and I probably had about 5,000 patients at this point, but like, you know, I still almost take it almost like offensive. Like if someone doesn't listen.
No, like you failed them if you can't get them.
I feel like some people just don't want to get it, bro. Some people
I get it.
Some people just want to live
the way they live.
It's easy to do nothing,
I get it. But they don't know.
But
pain,
the ones,
torture, embarrassment. They don't they're not smart enough to say, oh shit, I have diabetes and I'm not going to take care of it. As they start soring your toes and your ankle off. How do I know? Seen customers come into the store, didn't take care of their body, showing me photos of their brother or sister, trying to get them on green drinks. drinks. And what happens is because of lack of nutrients, when you have diabetes, it builds like a mesh around the cells because it can't accept oxygen and nutrients as good as it can. And all of a sudden you see a picture of this foot just falling apart, turning brown with spots all over because it's nutrient deficient. Yeah. Diabetes is so what happens is that person didn't think. Now that person unfortunately is passed, all right, from diabetes. Yeah. And I'm sitting there saying, oh my God, it is that serious that if you don't take care of your body, if you're diabetes, you can go through the pain, torture, and embarrassment. Imagine pain and torture of getting your foot off, and now you got to walk around with no foot. You know what I'm saying? It's really embarrassing.
This literally is in theme with what I tell patients, that like pain is the last thing that usually shows up with people and the first thing that goes away. So it's like, it's not a good gauge of how you're doing. 90% of the time, a patient will call up and be like, I woke up this morning and I couldn't move my neck. Or I bent over yesterday and my whole back went out. Like, it doesn't work like that. It's wear and tear. It's repetitive stress. It's all these things that you've done in your life, sports that you played in high school, and just bad habits, cracking your neck, this and that. And then all of a sudden one day, your body's like, I've had enough. And the saddest thing is when I have patients come to my office and it's almost like a last resort, like they've just waited too long, and it's just like their body is just like destroyed.
That's 90%
already.
of the consensus of people out there.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's a reactive lifestyle, waiting for the pain to show up, and then we're gonna do something because we haven't been programmed properly as children to take care of our bodies.
For some reason, people get it with the dentist, though. The dentists have done a very good job on teaching people you brush your teeth so you don't wind up with cavities. Like for some reason they had an easier sell with it, and people get it. People understand that. You know what I'm saying? But like nutrition, people need to learn it. Even like emotional stress and how to balance your stress and stuff. I mean, that's why there's psychologists. That's why there's psychiatrists. That's why there's people that help you with this stuff. It's all stuff to learn. And like part of what I do is an educational experience. Like you don't just come in and get adjusted. Like you learn how to change your life.
Yeah, that's the
when people go to Phountain, they learn. It's an educational experience, and it, you know, and I really
feel ready to learn. We're here waiting to teach you.
I really appreciate my friend Nicole, you know, over at Plainview Phountain, and Liz, and like, because Nicole got me over there, and I really appreciate her getting me over there. Yeah. And like, it was something I needed. I was looking for something new. I'm always looking for the next thing that's cool and like trendy.
You're looking you're looking for this resource. Yeah. That's what Phountain is, because most people don't know this proactive resource of health with water, greens, detox is waiting for them.
And when I talk about it, man, which I pretty much do all the time now because I post it and stuff and people want to know, like, it's cool, man. I like talking about it. It's just something cool to talk about. It makes perfect sense. I'm like, you never had hydrogen water? Try it, man. It'll change your life. Like molecular hydrogen water from Phountain. So it's like, let me just I want to tell you like a quick story. I don't know how we're doing on time here, but like I was actually this is a totally different topic, but it'll go back into the water. But like I was a major coffee junkie my entire life. Junkie. I'm talking like addict. Like I never thought it was a problem. Like I knew it was a lot, and like people were like, Max, it's crazy how much coffee you drink, but like I was literally out of my mind on coffee, and I actually have a coffee blog. I'm so serious about my coffee that I actually have a blog. So if you were to go online and Google Dr. Max's coffee blog, it's actually hashtag caffeinated on WordPress. I haven't written one in about a year now, but these entries are nuts. Like I write. I write them at like 2 a.m. when I'm wired and I can't sleep because I've had about 20 cups during the day.
Oh my God! You're admitting to that.
I've always been a very good writer, but like my writings, you should read these blogs. I mean, people were concerned for my life. Now, like I'm not kidding with you. There's been times where I've had, you know, I drink pretty much my whole life since I'm 16, and I drink good stuff too. Like, no disrespect to anyone listening to this who drinks Dunkin' Donuts, but like
that's the worst coffee ever made.
I drink like real coffee. I drink in like Blue Bottle, La Colombe, Cafe Grumpy, Gregory's, like the good stuff in the city. You know what I'm saying? Like patients bring me coffee from all over the world. Anytime a patient,
they're asking you to get.
Anytime a patient goes somewhere, they bring me coffee. There was a point where I had 14 pounds of coffee coffee in my house. Like, it literally was out of control. I had so much coffee.
So let's get to the point. What are we going to say?
I had so much coffee that I didn't even know what to do with it anymore. So I started making it in my office for my patients just to get rid of it. And it became almost like part of the whole experience. Like, if you were to see my Instagram, I have 3 emojis after my name. It's Dr. Max NYC. It's a picture of the emoji of New York City. It's an emoji of a muscle because I work out all the time, and it's an emoji of a coffee cup because coffee was such a huge part of my life.
Gotcha.
And I've been like a coffee connoisseur since I'm like 16. So I blog about it. I write these crazy blogs in the middle of the night.
So can I ask you something about coffee? So you're talking about, is it healthy or bad for you?
It's healthy if you have like 1 cup. It's actually been proven. But I drink literally a pot before I even leave my house. So I'm already on like 8 cups just before I even leave the house. And then I would drink a mug.
Do you carry a bag with you to pee in?
I was on the train with a travel mug of it. I'd work out. I'd go across the street and grab an espresso.
You probably didn't eat any food either.
I literally
it makes you not hungry.
Was wired, bro. Yeah. And like that's why my blog is called #caffeinated. Like, my personality forever is always been like very on. Now, about 8 months ago, I honestly one day thought I was going to have a heart attack. Like, I thought I overdid it. I did a double espresso at like 4 p.m. just for my evening shift. I had like 15 patients coming in. I'm like, I like that, like, wired, alive,
focused, ongoing
feeling. Like, I'm ready to go. Like, people would know. Like, my staff would know.
I understand.
Pat, my staff would know that I just hit a double espresso.
It's almost like some
right
reason why people smoke cigarettes too. They do.
But I always said to myself, you know what? I don't drink. I don't smoke. I work out all the time. Like, this is my vice. Okay. And there's worse things you could be addicted to in life than coffee, right?
Yeah.
But I honestly, a couple of times thought I was going to have a heart attack. And this one last time that did it for me, I really thought I was going to have a heart attack. Wow. And my doctor said to me, people have been telling me this for years, man. You can't keep drinking this amount of coffee. I'm like, I'm good. I've been doing this since I'm 16. This is just how I live, right? He's like, you're not 16 anymore, man. You're 42.
Yep.
You're going to have a heart attack.
There's a price
He said if you weren't as fit as you are,
probably
would have had a heart attack already. And I don't know. It's just something triggered in my brain, and I decided to go on a detox. And I drink 1 cup of coffee a day now for the last 8 months. But I make it like a sacred moment for me. Like, I get up extra early. My family's still sleeping. I get up. I make a pour over. I only do pour overs. And
what's a pour over?
A pour over is like what they do at Blue Bottle, where you have like a gooseneck kettle and you control the pour.
You're really
yeah. I'll have to
make sure there's enough air going in.
You control the timing of it and exactly how much water you put in so it doesn't flood it. You've had a pour over or no? I'll have to make you guys coffee.
Right.
You don't know. I'm a connoisseur, man. I'm a connoisseur, my friend. So the point is, I only have 1 cup of coffee a day now, and I use it with my fountain water. That's it. I'll only have my coffee with my fountain in the morning.
What do you put in it? Just black?
Black coffee, my friend.
All right, so he's not talking about coffee, guys, with sugar and milk and half and half. I don't want to misconstrue you.
Not
he's
a
just
real
talking about black
drinker.
Coffee with nothing in it.
Once you start putting stuff in the coffee, you can't really appreciate. Like I like
black coffee. I
can literally tell you by tasting a coffee what region it's from.
It's Arabica.
No, really. I'm at that level. Wow. Like there was a point where I actually almost wanted to have my own coffee place. But the point is, I'm only drinking, and those first 2 weeks were rough.
But your awareness was raised. You knew the doctor told you better wake up.
Yeah, but that's been for years. They've been saying that. But something clicked. Something has to click in people's minds to make a change.
Yeah.
And I made a huge change in my life this year. And I went down to 1 cup of coffee a day, and I probably saved my life doing this, by the way. And I have just as much energy now, if not more energy now, than I've ever had in my life. And I think it's because I've reset almost like my adrenal glands. Like, if one of my entries is actually called "My Adrenal Glands Are Shot." I mean, that's the name of my entry.
If there's any left.
Yeah. But now I have just as, like, look at me right now. I'm like wired. Just talking to you right now. Like, I'm fired up.
Green factor.
I'm wired. I had a double green factor this morning. I have my coffee's made from fountain water. I'm like a walking advertisement for you guys, man. But like, the point is like my energy levels are probably the best they've ever been, and I don't even need the coffee for it, bro.
That's a mountain
How
for you to
about that
climb.
story, bro?
I used to.
So that's actually been on my to-do list to write my next entry, which I haven't written one in a year, called Dr. Max's coffee detox, and it's like a 180 of everything I've written in the last 2 years on my blog. So
wow.
It's going to be about how I detoxed off of coffee.
Can I tell you how I got off of coffee? I used to go to Starbucks every day and get a grande caramel macchiato hot every day.
Yeah.
Even as I owned Fountain for the first couple of years, and then realized how much sugar is in there and how much they put the caramel in there, and then. This is where Superfactor came into play. Superfactor is very robust and very zesty and very full tasting. And it took me about 2 or 3 months, but I started waking up in the morning, and instead of having coffee and going to Starbucks, I'd be waiting at 5:30 when they were the one that opened here. One opened at 5 a.m., one opened at 5:30, and I just know which one I'm going to plan to go to. And I would go get my grande caramel macchiato, and I was sipping it every morning, doing my Fountain deliveries. And this is like 8 years ago. And then I ran into Superfactor, and I started to replace my coffee with the Superfactor. Like I said, it was robust and zesty enough that I made up this concoction, and I'm happy to say that I can have coffee now, and I am in control. Coffee does not control me. I do not need it. It's like a social thing. Like you said, oh, you have a cup? Yeah, I have a cup of coffee. But I used to be kind of addicted to it, like everybody else is. But there is a solution. Superfactor got me off of the coffee. I actually made a video years ago called "Kill Your Coffee Maker," where it was saying, "Hey, get off the coffee. It's really not so good for you, especially all the stuff that you put in it every day is a neurotoxin tricking your brain to think you have energy with caffeine and yada yada yada." And it took about, like I said, 3 or 4 months, and I took back control of my health. And guess what? I'm not spending $6 on every grande caramel macchiato anymore. I have my Superfactor every morning. It gets me through the day. And like you said, I have this body energy, this body voltage energy that never gives up on me. And I can keep on going all the day. And I don't have to have any coffee. And I'm running off of plants and oil and beans.
Yeah, that's
no one ever think that. You know what I mean? And greens, beans, oil.
Yeah, I mean, I can't even believe how much money I've probably saved in the last year by not buying coffee. Like I literally, and I used to go through like at least a pound in my house a week. Now it's like, you know, I still drink really good coffee. Don't get me wrong, but like my coffee that I drink at home is no joke. I'm
going to challenge you.
I'm going to make
to not drink your coffee.
Oh,
try Superfactor. No, just for a week. You're the doctor, all right?
I love coffee, though.
I know, but maybe you just want to listen. Remember, I told you about sleeping.
Yeah, I'll try.
When your body regenerates itself, the coffee is not complementing the hard work your body has done to regenerate itself, right? So what happens is, have your Superfactor, have your greens, maybe have your coffee a little later, and let all those nutrients from the greens and the supers settle into your body and extend that healing mode.
That's interesting.
Do you follow what I'm saying? Extend that healing mode that your body is in. And then what happens is, once you put food in your body, I don't know about coffee, your body goes from healing mode to digestion mode. That's why we get tired sometimes. Is you go eat a big heavy meal, and then all of a sudden you find yourself on the couch. I'm tired. I'm sluggish because your body had to do what? Switch all its energy from what? Making energy to do it, digestion, and then you're sitting on the couch. So listen, let's wrap this up today because I'm gonna have you on here many more times, and I don't want to water our stun down. It was great having you here today, Dr. Max.
I really appreciate it, man.
Yes, no, I look forward to doing
my first podcast, man. You're my new friend, man. When I met you, the first time I met you, when you had your grand opening of your new store over there,
Plainview.
In Plainview, I'm like, I just knew this was my guy right here, man. I just hit it off with you, man.
I'll tell you.
I just knew we were gonna be doing something together. So
when I was younger, I tell everybody this. I don't know what it was. I was never the most popular kid in school, even though I was kind of popular for sports and stuff. But I always got along with people that were kind of like misfits. The kid with the black nails on his head. This kid who's really short and doofy looking. I don't know. There's something about my soul. And I'm not putting you in that category, but anybody who is always a little different and they walk their own path, I was always with them, and I wasn't going with the tribe. Do you know what I'm saying? I was always like, and I still do this today. You know what I'm saying? And I don't even saying Eric. Eric is my friend too, and most people, because he lives his own path. And some people can't handle that people are on their own path. I can. Because I'm on my own path. So I guess that's why you're on your own path. He's on his own path. And I can accept, and I always have. It's just that I'm not always doing what everybody else has done. Do you know what I mean?
That's like me too, my friend. I mean, I chose to be a chiropractor. I mean, that's not mainstream medicine. I'm not prescribing drugs to people. I'm not recommending surgery to people. I'm helping people live a holistic lifestyle. And that's like, it's kind of against the grain of what this world is used to. This world.
But we are changing in that direction.
This world used to take taking pills. There's
Yes.
people want to take pills, but that's why I'm like, against the grain with that. So I think that's one of the reasons why we get along like that, because we're both kind of like almost like missionaries at this point.
Prophets.
Yeah, I almost feel like I'm on a mission. I almost feel like when I go to work, I'm on a mission to like change somebody's mindset about what health is.
You know why?
Yeah.
Because you're a positive force of the universe.
That's
and
cool,
we all
man.
find each other.
I love that,
Nice
bro.
having you today, Dr. Max.
Thanks, my
Later,
friend.
brother.